Hi, my name is Zetta. My children and I have attended Dominion City Church Norcross for the last 6 years. And I want to share the testimony of how God healed my son Micah from liver failure in 2015. In February of 2015, we had a special conference here at Dominion City Norcross, Georgia. During the conference, it was on a Sunday, I kept having the urge, or was hearing from God, that I needed to give. The only money I had was the money that I needed to use to move out of my current apartment to a new apartment, which was, I think, about $140, $160 or so. But I kept getting the urge to give over and over again, even though I was ignoring it. Finally, I took literally every dollar that I had. I had money in 3 different places, and I just quickly ran up, gave the money, and came and sat back down. The next day, as normal, I went to work. I had to be at work at 5 a.m. I dropped my kids off at the babysitter, which was one of our church members. And while I was at work, she was calling me, telling me that I needed to come home, needed to come get my son. He's not well. It seems like he can't walk. And my son was only 5 years old, so I didn't know what she meant, but I really wasn't that worried or stressed out. I just thought it was something, normal, some little thing that was going on. When I got there, he couldn't walk, and that's when I found out he had actually urinated on himself. So his, clothes were wet. He smelled like urine. Once I, got him out, got him into the car, it was obvious I had to take him to the emergency room. That had never happened before. There was no reason why he had urinated on himself and wasn't able to walk at only 5 years old. So once I got him to the emergency room, the ER doctors, of course, they were using all these medical terms, and she told me that my son had hepatitis, which, me being just a regular person, not knowing anything about the medical field, I was really confused, thinking that she was saying that he had an STD, because that was the only hepatitis that I knew. So, I was, really stressed out trying to figure out, how could he have gotten this? They finally told me that he was going to have to be transported to the Children's Hospital of Atlanta in Decatur. Once I got there, I wasn't getting a lot of information. Finally, the ER doctors at the new hospital came in, and they explained the hepatitis to me more, that it was actually an issue with the liver. And that's when they told me that he was experiencing liver failure, and that he was going to have to be admitted to the hospital. After I was told that he has to be admitted to the hospital as a patient, I called Pastor Steve immediately, let him know what was going on, and he prayed with me. I let him know that it was liver failure, so he prayed specifically over that. And then my child was actually admitted to the PICU. I talked to, my family. I talked to a couple of different church members. The children's ministry pastors actually called me, and they had the older children in the children's ministry praying and doing prayer vigil for my son, because we were really tight-knit, church family. Even with all that encouragement, I had Pastor Necker and Dr. Una, calling, checking on me, encouraging, praying with me. They had a team of doctors, there's 4 or 5 of them. Every morning they would come in, and their news was bad. They would tell me the levels have gone down. The liver is supposed to repair itself, but it's not turning around. And this went on for 3 days. About the 3rd day, it was the 3rd day, Pastor Stevie could tell that, even though they were calling and checking on me, I wasn't really taking to encouragement and, being vibrant and taking hold to faith. So he came with Dr. EJ. We prayed. Once we finished the prayer, that was it. I just, we talked, I walked them out, and, went back to being in that room. By Friday, the doctors were saying that we needed to put my son's name, put him on the transplant list. By Saturday, That was the first time that I heard any good news. It was Saturday afternoon. They came and they said, oh, his levels are different. They're turning around. The numbers are going up. The whatever count is going up. And then after that Saturday, every day they came to check, it was a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Until, of course, by Monday, they were talking about letting us go home. I knew it was nothing short of a miracle. And there was no way that I would attribute that to medical science or anything. There was no medicine, even by their own admission, that they could have given him to fix it. But for his body to, quote unquote, repair itself and heal on its own, that's exactly what we call a miracle. And if there was medical science that could have fixed it, I would have paid any amount to get a good report, any amount to get the report that my son was going to be okay. Everybody, this is Micah, the only boy in my house. Like I said, I would have given anything to make sure that he was okay. He's 10 years old today, healthy, vibrant, no issues, no problems whatsoever. I just thank God for everything that he's done for my family. Every time I think about it, it's something that sends me straight into Thanksgiving. There's nobody like our God. There's nobody that could have done that miracle for our family.